Hey guys, Omar here, broker and CEO of Alden Mortgage and Ome Realty. So listen up. Let's go ahead and give you a little breakdown on exactly how to buy a house, what the process is, and how to save yourself a bunch of time from dealing with a bunch of bullshit afterwards, okay? Or during. So the first place that you want to go to, okay? The first place without even question of doubt, go talk to somebody that could get you the money. A lender, a bank, a broker, a credit union, I don't care who it is. Just go talk to somebody. If you're in California, please feel free to reach out. Shameless plug. But talk to a lender, okay? Because you have to fit certain criteria. You have to know how much you're able to afford. You have to know how much you need to bring to the table. What options do you have? What programs do you fit into? Can you do X amount of percent as far as the down payment? Do you do 0, 3, 3.5, 20, whatever it is? You have to talk to a lender because, sorry realtors, sorry for any of you listing or selling agents, but the most important people in any real estate transaction are A, the lender, because that's the person who gets you the money to buy the piece of property, title, and not really escrow. Escrow is just the middle guy, but title and lenders are without a doubt the most important people in the transaction. Now, once you find a lender and you get your qualification, you have to understand when you get a mortgage, there are costs behind a mortgage. It's not like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put 200 or 300,000 or 10,000 or whatever your budget is. I'm gonna put X amount and then that's all I really have to worry about. No, you have other costs that are associated with it. Origination loans, escrow, title, prepaids if you're gonna do a impound. These are costs that you have to anticipate whenever you are about to purchase a home. Now you could offset it by doing a few little tricks that we as lenders do. Now to the next step. Once you found a lender, okay? Now you can backtrack the step. You can go and find a realtor first or a broker or anybody who does the real estate side first. But make sure that before you guys start going around, driving around, like, let's look at a bunch of houses and yada, yada, yada. Let's try to figure out how much we could go ahead and afford. Now you could talk to a lender, talk to a real estate person or a broker, and then see what lender that they have that has made sure that all their previous transactions have went completely smoothly and seamlessly. Make sure that all their previous transactions have gone good and smooth and had no hiccups or anything. But before you guys do anything else, whether you go to a realtor or a lender first, just make sure you understand that you have to get pre-qualified, understand all the costs, get yourself a little game plan, understand everything before you jump into it. Now, number two, now after you get pre-approved, now not to mention, do not get pre-qualified. Pre-qualified does not mean a damn thing. It means nothing in the world of real estate. Get a pre-approval. Huge difference. Massive, massive difference. If you want to have a bunch of headaches, if you want to lose out on any offers that you toss in, just go ahead and get a pre-qualification, see how far that gets you. Now, number two, okay, now you're gonna go ahead and you know how much you could afford. Now you gotta go find the house. Now the real estate agent is gonna be your buyer's agent. You typically the real estate side of things splits up into listing agents and seller agents, where majority of the listing agents are predominantly just listing agents, and then buyer's agents are predominantly buyer agents. Listing agents typically are the more experienced, have been around a lot longer. They really don't do the buyer agency side. And then you have your buyer agents. Now your buyer agent is going to start driving you around. You're going to look at different houses. Each house is going to be different, okay? So make sure that every house that you end up finding, that you look at the preliminary on every single one of these houses. So when you're about to dump in an offer, make sure that your real estate agent is asking for a preliminary title report so you could anticipate any hiccups that might come up, because unless you pull that preliminary title report, you have no idea if you're going to have any hiccups with that property, because people don't say a lot of things, or people forget. You will never know what's associated with that property until you get that all dialed in. The reason why I say that is because, let's say for instance, this person owes hypothetically $500,000. They are selling you the house for $550,000, but they have a judgment against the property for $150,000, where they can never come up with that extra bit of money. Now what do? So much for that. Now it's either you raise the offer, you're gonna have to negotiate, but sometimes you're so far from actually where it needs to be that that person is just not gonna be, I mean, sometimes they might be just better off just short selling their house. So now once you got the preliminary title and you gave it a whole once over, next step is going to be the inspections. Now this is where the lender comes back into play. You know, you're gonna have to get your title in escrow. We're gonna, as a broker, as a mortgage broker and a real estate broker, you know, on the mortgaging side, we are always gonna ask for a preliminary title report. We're gonna see who the title company is, and then we're gonna give our once over. So if your real estate didn't do its due diligence, then we could possibly be the bearer of bad news and be like, hey, this property is not gonna work. It's just, you're too far off. There's something wrong with it. This could be a very stressful purchase, but if you have somebody who actually knows what they're doing, who crosses all their T's and dots all their I's, you could be smooth. This could be a smooth transaction. You're not gonna have to worry about much of anything. So now title is gonna get involved. Now we have escrow. We got to open up escrow. Now as a lender, we have to go ahead and order appraisal. Now appraisal has to go through an AMC, and AMC is just like, we can't pick our own appraisals, you know, because 2008 happened, and everybody knows what happened in 2008. That sucked big time. But if you don't know what happened in 2008, Google it, figure it out. I'm sure you'll come up with a bunch of interesting things. Or just watch The Big Short like everybody else does. What a great movie. I love that movie. So now once you have your inspections all ordered, it depends if you're going to go ahead and have no contingencies, or you just don't care. If you have the money to do that and your loan allows you to do no contingencies, then awesome. But majority of loans don't let you do no contingencies. Cash buys are usually quick close, no contingencies. Once your broker or your lender has ordered everything that they need to order, hopefully your VOI and your VOE is already taken care of. Your VOI and your VOE is a verification of employment, your verification of income. Pray that you got this all done before, because you don't want any hiccups. Now we gotta wait for the appraisal. Now pray that the appraisal comes in good. Everybody right now, the lender is crossing their fingers. You're probably crossing your fingers. The real estate agent, the buyer's agent is definitely crossing their fingers. That goes smoothly. And if that goes smoothly, then we have one more hurdle. The hurdle is getting an inspection. Inspection is probably, it's one of the most stressful for all of us, you know, because we want to make sure that everything as far as the inspection goes smoothly, because if there's something wrong with it, we have to go back to the table as the buyer's agent. The buyer's agent has to go back to the table and say, hey, listen, this is the problem we have. And you're going to it's either going to be a renegotiation coming to a lesser amount. Let's say we are, make sure that it falls in the guidelines of what is allowed in the loan itself. So the lender will have to come back into play of things. But if the inspection goes well, fingers crossed it does, then we are in the clear. Now we just have to make sure that everything gets signed off on the lending side. Title is all happy. Escrow is waiting for some money so they can go ahead and send it to whoever they need to send it to, with the agent, the lender, and yada, yada, yada. Then we're closing. I know I simplified this whole situation, and I know I made it seem a lot lot easier, and maybe in some ways a lot worse. But if you have a bunch of experienced people on your side, if you have an experienced mortgage broker, if you have an experienced agent, if you have an experienced seller's agent, if you have a bunch of these experienced people on your side that are going to go ahead and set you up for a smooth transaction, then you're going to be all set to go. So if you like the content, please go ahead and like, subscribe, follow me on all that other social media stuff that I swore I would never, ever, ever, ever be this much of a part of. But glad some of you guys enjoy it. Till next video, guys.